हरे कृष्णा। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुजुगो श्रीजीवगोपालको वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेशतनयस् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधूवर्गेण तया कल्पिता। श्रीमद्भागवत पुराणयमलं प्रेम पुमाथो महा श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु मतैदं नायत्रया ग्रह परः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद रूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं यशोदाभियुलुखलदधवमानं परमष्टमात्यन्तो त्रतो धृत्य गोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रं युगमं रुजन्तं कराम्भोजयुगमेना साकङ्कनेत्रं मुहुसाश्रुकम्प त्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैव दामोदर भक्तिबद्धं स्थितग्रैव दामोदर भक्तिबद्धं दामोदर भक्तिबद्धं दामोदर भक्तिबद्धं दामोदर भक्तिबद्धं दामोदर भक्तिबद्धं। Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to all the assembled Vaishnavas. My koti koti dandavat pranams to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, to our Gaudiya Acharyas, my thousands and thousands of obeisances to Satyavrat Muni, to Yashoda Mai, to Damodar, and also to our Rasik Acharyas, Jiva Goswami and Sanatan Goswami Pad. It is by their mercy of these Acharyas, that we are attempting to dive deep into this esoteric Leela known as the Dambandhan Leela, and along with that, the in-depth study of Sri Damodar Ashtakam. So last Sunday, in the fourth session, we finished the first two verses of the Damodar Ashtakam. And very briefly, to summarize a little bit, just in case if there's any Vaishnavas who are not present, after Mother Yashoda goes to pacify the Vaishnav milk, at that time, Krishna, who is left on the floor, being asked to watch a yogurt pot by Mother Yashoda, promising to come back very fast. Angered by that, leaving him because he had not yet finished on the breastfeeding that Mother Yashoda was at that time, before the milk tried to commit suicide by boiling over. So Mother Yashoda pacifies the milk by, the milk tells Mother Yashoda, my life is useless. I see that there's enough milk. You are like an unlimited Shirsagar, the ocean of milk. And Krishna has an unlimited appetite and he's relishing. My living is useless. Therefore, please don't stop me, Mother. I would like to give up my life. And that is the actual bhav of any Vaishnavas. True Vaishnavas, they're always, when they are bereft of seva or Vaishnava association, they feel that way. Narottam Das Thakur has also mentioned in the Jai Anila Premadhana prayers, Mathane Kutivo Pasha, Onole Pashibo, Gauranga Gunera Nidhi, Kotha Gele Pabu. Where is the ocean of transcendence, Sri Mahaprabhu? And previous in the verses, he's mentioning about all the different acharyas who have disappeared, not finding their association. He feels like banging his head on a stone or entering a bonfire and giving up his life. So similar sentiments. Vaishnava is never satisfied with the service that one renders. The moment we are satisfied, we feel that we have done enough, then the stagnancy comes in and there will be some impediments. Our advancement is checked due to the false ego. So Mother Yashoda pacifies the milk, says that no milk, your feeling is understandable, that you feel that you will not be able to serve Sri Krishna with your milk. But no, that's not true. With my mother's milk, I cannot make burfis, or I cannot make sweets. I cannot make makhan, butter. I will be using you. I will be engaging you. That is the perfect role of a senior Vaishnava or Acharya. Our Acharyas comment that Mother Yashoda takes the role of an Acharya and engages, pacifies the milk, and once assures milk Vaishnava that it will be engaged in Sri Krishna's service. Yuktas cha bhaktam charni vanjatopi vande guru Shri Charnarvinda. And that is what our Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada always did. Every word in the Gurvastakam by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti very well describes all our Gaudiya Acharyas, especially the 32nd Acharya in line is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And that is the reason, if we look out even amongst so many Sanatan Dharma or many theistic places of worship, ISKCON is the most unique of all. Unique in such a wonderful way that no matter anybody coming from any walk of life can be engaged in Krishna service. That is the beauty of Krishna, and that's what Srila Prabhupada taught us, that we have to engage everybody in Krishna service. Somebody may be very good at computers, so come, my dear boy, my dear girl, you're good at accounting, take to this. You're good at singing, sing for Krishna. You're good at cooking, cook for Krishna. You're good at speaking, speak Harikatha, etc. And this is perhaps the only institution that I have come across in the last 31 years that can actually engage anybody who walks in from the very minute they walk in into any ISKCON temple. The mood of Mahaprabhu, Dina Jina Jata Chilo, Harinami Uddharilo, Tara Sakshi Jagai Madhai. Not looking at the qualification of anyone, we just want to engage them, and that itself is a very purificatory process. Krishna, still angered externally but internally very happy that how her mother is dealing with the milk Vaishnava. We have mentioned that in everything in Vaikuntha, in the spiritual worlds, Krishna Loka, Golok Vrindavan, everything is Chitta, Chidananda Rupam. Everything is full of consciousness. Here we have animate distinction between animate and inanimate objects. But in Golok Vrindavan or Vaikuntha Lokas, everything is a real jiva, full of consciousness. Whether it is a flute, a table, a chair, clothing, it can be a buttermilk pot or the churning rod or the bangles or the jewelry of Krishna or the jewelry of Mother Yashoda or the jewelry of the gopis, etc., etc. So that is Golok Dham. And like that, Mother Yashoda is pacifying milk Vaishnava. And while this conversation between milk Vaishnava and Mother Yashoda is going on, Krishna getting so upset, internally very happy of course, externally upset, he watches that pot that Mother Yashoda had asked him to watch, a huge buttermilk pot or a half coagulated yogurt pot, and he suddenly gets this idea of punishing Mother Yashoda, getting naughty. So he sees a little mortar pestle very close by. He picks it up and he aims it at the bottom of the huge pot, and perfectly aiming, it creates a nice hole in the bottom that with full pressure, all that half coagulated milk and yogurt flows out like a fountain and creates a huge mess. Seeing that, Krishna suddenly realizes mother will turn around any second and I will be in trouble. And then what he does is he slowly tiptoes himself into the next room where he sees that there is butter and yogurt pots that are tied to the roof on the rafters. Little did he know that his little white footprints that he had walked through that mess, Mother Yashoda notices when she turns around. And when she sees that, she is extremely upset. She's saying that today I don't have any help. Everybody has gone to Sri Upananda's house, preparing for the Indra Yajna. All my maid servants, even Mother Rohini has gone. And I have also promised to make a few things for the Indra Yajna. And look now, what a mess this Lala has created. I've been hearing complaints. The moment he started walking at the age of 1.5 years old, he used to go along with his little cowherd boys to the houses of the gopis, stealing butter, etc., ransacking making a mess. But she never believed the gopis when they complained. And now she sees it with her own eyes. When she is so upset, but when she sees those little white footprints, she is suddenly filled with a lot of innocent humor, and she thinks, look how innocent my Lala is. He doesn't even know that, he is leading me exactly where he's into hiding. But again, she is upset after that. How? When she takes a grabs a stick and enters that room very, very slowly. In the meantime, Krishna has already overturned the ukkal, or the grinding mortar, and he is sumptuously feeding himself, and also the monkeys and the crows that had appeared suddenly out of nowhere. Our Acharyas comment that he personally feeds them and calls them with a lot of love, the monkeys and crows, take butter, and as gratitude. Gratitude is something that is something that we should all have, possess. We do have it, but it is covered. Because all the qualities that the jiva has, they all come from Sri Krishna, Janmadi Yasya. But in a very infinitesimal and a very atomic quantity. Prabhupada gave the example of the drop of water in the ocean and the great ocean. The chemical composition is the same. So because Sri Krishna has gratitude, we have. But because we are full of sense gratification and in a perverted way in this material world to do bhoga, to enjoy, then all these good transcendental qualities get covered by Maya. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankar vimudatma karta iti manyate. Bhagavad Gita. Like that. So he is full of gratitude, and our Acharyas explained gratitude because the monkeys had served so nicely in his previous avatar in the Treta Yuga, Lord Ramachandra, for building that bridge to Sri Lanka. And they had not eaten any good sumptuous foods. They were eating whatever was available, fruits, leaves, roots that were fallen on the ground, and they were simply subsisting or surviving on that. Feeling full of gratitude, he said, you did not get that, those were your ancestors, but come, Makhan is the best of the best and the most expensive of the expensive, and let me feed you. And this was the best Makhan that Mother Yashoda and the maid servants used to make from the Surbi cows in the Nandalai, in the Nanda Bhavan, apart from the huge Goshala that was in the village of Gokul. And the crows also were Krishna expressed his gratitude to the crows because a great ancestor of the crows, Kag Bhushandi, who has a very good role in the Ramayana also, and he eternally recites the Ramayana at the base of Mount Kailash at Mount Sarovar. And seeing that, because he was cursed, this devotee Bhushan was cursed by Lomas Rishi for not following the instructions of him, although the Guru was wrong. He had presented some Mayavad philosophy, whereas Bhushan said that I would like to hear about the personalism. Please explain your explanation based on that. And getting upset at him, Lomas Rishi said that you're not following what I'm teaching, so you need to be cursed into the worst of the species, which is crows. Crows are considered very abominable in one sense. They survive on trash, on garbage. That's where they congregate, and that's the kind of foodstuffs that they eat. But Krishna here remembers. That is the beauty. And that's what we should be learning in this Damodar Leela. Even when as we enter into the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th verses, there's so much tattva or philosophy that has been brought to light by Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami. And the pure devotion that is being expressed. And that is why the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are interested. Otherwise, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas would not be really much interested in all these different astakams or other prayers if they are not in line with what they actually strongly believe. So like this, the crows are being fed, and then Mother Yashoda slowly opens the door behind, and the crows and the monkey, they scatter. Seeing fear in their eyes, Krishna turns around, and when he turns around, he sees Mother Yashoda with a stick. When Mother Yashoda when he sees Mother Yashoda with a stick, then he actually runs out. There are two doors into this storeroom. He runs out into the open courtyard, and he is very smart. Krishna is very clever. He thinks about, even at that age of 2.5 years old, he's thinking that if I go into the palace, maybe I'll get caught. The palace is pretty huge, but I will go outside into the open. And the reason why I will go outside is because, it's already morning, and the sun has risen, and my mother, will have to wear a veil, because that is the proper Vedic culture for women. And then she won't be able to easily see me that far out when I'm running into the front yard, because she will be shy that there might be elders, Brajvasis, already males who already may be moving around in the village of Gokul. So like that, he sneaks out, runs into the courtyard, in the front courtyard, and Mother Yashoda, quickly taking a glance left and right and looking at there's nobody, she is determined to catch Krishna. So that is what is required. Rupa Goswami says, Usta, Dhairya, Nischaya. Out of some of the 6 qualities, the 3 of these are very important. Of course, all qualities are important. Utsa, enthusiasm, Dhairya, patience, and Nischaya, determined. Mother Yashoda was determined to catch Krishna because her love for Krishna exceeded the love of Krishna. This is a very, very important point that we need to really take home when we are studying the Damodar Leela. Right now, our Krishna's love for us is far, far more than our love for him. Whether it is in the Aishwarya mood of Vaikuntha, or whether it is in the mood of Golok Vrindavan, Nanda Nandan. When our Acharyas say, when our love surpasses Krishna's love, then we will be able to control Krishna. Rather, Krishna will want to be controlled by us. Rather, Krishna will actually be hankering to be controlled by us. Bhakta Vatsala and Bhakta Vasya. Everybody has heard mostly of Bhakta Vatsala, the term. But Bhakta Vasya is very rare, where Vasya means to be in control, and Bhakta means the devotee, to be in control of the devotee. So Mother Yashoda, out of pure love, no, I must correct my son. He's only 2.5 years old. And out of pure Vatsalya Rasa, that was emanating in Mother Yashoda, she was determined to catch Krishna. And she puts her veil on a little bit and runs into the courtyard, but her veil falls off, and her flowers also fall off that are there. The ketki flowers in her veni, in her braid. She stops there out of courtesy, saying, let me pick you up, oh my dear Vaishnava flowers. And they say, Mother, go! That rascal is gone there. He's right there. Don't worry about us. So again, we have to remember that everything in Golok Vrindavan, whether a flower or a blade of grass or a table or a chair or a flute, all are full of consciousness. They are chitta. They are real persons. That is why Uddhav desires to be a blade of grass. So in Golok Vrindavan, one can actually attain any position, and it's all very grateful and gracious. Nothing is demeaning or nothing is considered lower or higher in one sense. One who has entered those sweet pastimes or the Madhurya Dham of Sri Krishna, they are indeed of a very high caliber of devotion. So even Uddhav says that I would like to become a blade of grass. That is my desire in Vrindavan when Krishna sends him from Dwarka to Vrindavan. Why? Because when he saw the devotion of the gopis and the love of the Sakhya Ras, the Vatsalya Ras, and the Madhurya Ras, he was just astounded. He thought, he being the disciple of Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods, he knew all the Vedas very well. He knew all the scriptures perfectly. And he was the topmost disciple, the Bhakti Shastri or the Bhakti Vaibhav or the PhD of Brihaspati. But when he went to Golok Vrindavan, when he went to Vrindavan Dham, and when he saw the prem that emanated in all these rasas, especially the rasas in the Madhurya rasa, he was astounded. He thought he was going to give them knowledge. The Vrajvasis who are lamenting, like in Bhagavad Gita, Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptis dhiras tatra na muhyati. Dhiras tatra na muhyati. One who is sober never laments. So he was thinking he will give that kind of gyan, philosophy to these gopis who are not educated in the Vedas, etc. But when he saw the love that actually controls why Krishna is hankering so much after them. Actually, the reason why Uddhava was sent to Vrindavan is twofold. One was external. External is because, of course, Krishna understood that he had this pride that he is the great devotee, a disciple of Brihaspati, and he is full of knowledge. So he will understand when he goes that if knowledge does not culminate into pure bhakti, then that knowledge is dry. Prabhupada also mentioned that so many times in different purports. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena Brahma Samhita Vedesha durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajan. Even by studying the Vedas, it is durlabham, it is extremely rare to obtain Sri Krishna. Vedesha adurlabham. Adurlabham means the opposite, which becomes very easy to obtain the lotus feet of Krishna or the service of Sri Krishna with pure devotion. Vedesha durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto. Atma bhakto means when with pure unadulterated love. When we have that atma bhakto, then we can actually not only obtain Krishna, but Krishna desires to be controlled by that particular caliber of devotee. Mother Yashoda finally catches up with Sri Krishna, and that's where the first verse of the Damodar Ashtakam is. Namami Ishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam Lasata Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Viyun Lukhalad Dhamamanam Param Ashtam Atyanta Tatu Dhutya Gopya. Here, we again, just to remind all the devotees that this Damodar Ashtakam is an eternally perfected prayer. The mention of this prayer is there in a conversation between Shaunak Rishi, headed by many rishis, but headed by Shaunak Rishi and Naradji, and the mention has been there in the Puranas. In this conversation, glorifying the devotion of Satyavrat Muni. And here, through the internal, eyes or the transcendental eyes of the Goswamis, they see that this Ashtakam is a subtle conversation, a sukshma samvad, a subtle conversation between Krishna and his devotee Satyavrat Muni. It is a sukshma samvad. Sukshma means subtle, samvad means a dialogue or a conversation. So here, first, Satyavrat Muni says that Namami Ishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam. I offer my obeisances to that Satchit Ananda Rupam. So here that Dasya Bhav is being expressed. Dasya Vishesha. There are some delineations, and as we progress into this Ashtakam, we will realize why it is so interesting, why all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and why Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami have spent so much of their precious time, energy, and their reflections in making these commentaries in the Digdarshini and in the Gopal Champu. So here he is offering obeisances, but here he is very particular about offering obeisances to that Satchitananda, because all the avatars of Sri Krishna, expansions of Krishna or Satchitananda. Krishna expands in Golok Vrindavan simultaneously on the right side as Sri Baldev Prabhu, and on the left side as Srimati Radharani as is Haladini Shakti. So these are the three Shaktis, Samvit, Sandhini and Haladini. So Lord Balaram is the one who is instrumental, from whom all the different avatars emanate, not from Nandanandan. Lord Balaram is the agency. Lord Balaram expands himself from in Golok Vrindavan into two Chaturvyus, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And that first Chaturvyu is those expansions are in and Mathura. And the second Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Anuruddha, they are in Dwarka. And then Radharani simultaneously expands herself into as many Lakshmis or their consorts, whether in Dwarka or in Mathura. And then from the Moor Sankarshan or the Mahashankarshan, from the second quadruple expansion, all the different avatars of the Supreme Lord take place. The different Narayanas, the different Vishnus, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, Shirodaksai Vishnu, etc. They are all Satchitananda. They are all Sat, they are eternal, Chitta, they are fully cognizant. Just like in the Srimad Bhagavatam first verse, this applies to all these avatars. Janmadi yasya yatonvaya ditaratascha artesha bhigya swarat abhigya swarat. They know everything directly and indirectly. Whether it is Lord Ramachandra or whether it is Lord Narayana or Narsinghadev or any of the Lord's avatars. They are all Satchitananda. But Satyavrat Muni, in specifically, he specifies by exploring, mentioning the beauty of this Satchitananda. So therefore, he's being very specific. One, that Satchitananda I'm offering my obeisances, whose Lasata Kundalam, whose earrings are frolicking on his cheeks. He is actually glorifying the jewelry of Sri Krishna, especially the earrings, just like the gopis glorify in the Venugi, in the 10th canto, and in the Gopi Geet, the flute of Sri Krishna. How fortunate this flute must have been, that how much tapasya she must have done, that she gets the association of Krishna's lotus lips. Similarly, in that fashion, Satyavrat Muni is glorifying the earrings of Sri Krishna because they constantly they touch the cheeks of Sri Krishna, they kiss the cheeks of Sri Krishna, while Krishna is moving around, performing his wonderful naughty pastimes in Gokul, Lasada Kundalam. So here he is actually describing his rupa, or rather he is describing the beauty of his ornaments. Again, to remind everyone that all these ornaments, they are all Vaishnavas. And whenever we glorify Vaishnavas, Krishna is very pleased. That's one of the best ways of attracting the lotus feet of Radha Krishna is to glorify the Vaishnavas. And time and again, that is why that has also been my personal sadhana. Because when I share some things, I share some of my things from my personal sadhana and my personal realizations, which have been confirmed by the acharyas. When we show love to Vaishnavas, especially the pure Vaishnava acharyas, when we study their songs, the Vaishnava bhajans, and we actually sing them, and whether it is in front of our own deities or in a temple environment or in a program, at that time, Sri Krishna, we draw special attraction. The all attractive gets attracted to us because we are glorifying those Vaishnavas through their prayers. So glorification of the Vaishnavas is something that is one of the most important philosophies here that is being projected in this particular verse, where the Satyavrat Muni is glorifying the earrings of Sri Krishna, how fortunate they are that they are able to, the makar shape, the earrings that are frolicking on the kundalam. The Krishna has a specific type of earrings, that is what they are called makar kundal, and that is what they are called. They are so fortunate, and therefore it is concluded, and then he further specifies that I am offering my obeisances not to those thousands of Satchitanandas that are in Vaikuntha Loka or in Mathura and Dwarka, but where? Gokule Brajamana. Very, very wonderful point, and that is why this song is very attractive to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Gokule, that's Satchitananda in Gokul, in Golok Vrindavan. In Gokul, Golok Vrindavan are the same. In Brahma Samhita, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explains the different delineations in Golok Vrindavan. And Bhakti Thakur in the Krishna Samhita has also explained the different delineations in Golok Vrindavan, the different prakostas. Anyways, so coming back to, he specifies in Gokul, so that means it is very, very obvious that he is offering his obeisances to the source of everything, Janmadi Yasya, as the Vedanta Sutra and the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first two words of Srimad Bhagavatam mention, everything emanating from him, that Nandanandan, Yashodanandan Krishna, who is in Gokul, who is in Brajamanam, and who is situated very, very splendidly. Braja. Braja has got many, many meanings or connotations. Like in Hindi, if you all know, Ao Biraju, that actually is coming from the root Braja. Biraju, Braja, means comes. We offer you a nice seat, a splendorous way of welcoming you. Biraju, Braj. So, Brajamanam, in Braj, his splendor is of the topmost in nature that cannot be found even in Vaikuntha or any other Krishna Loka in the spiritual realms. So therefore, that is known as the most wonderful, highest conception of the planetary systems in the spiritual world, which is called the Braj Mandal or Braj Manam or Golok Dham. So, and therefore, he is now offering his obeisances in Dasya Bhav. Further, he in this verse is saying, Yashoda bhiyu lukhalat dhavamanam paramishtam atyanta tato dhritya gopya. Mother Yashoda is actually is chasing Krishna in the frontier, and Krishna cannot be caught. Actually, it is impossible to catch the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And again, when the love exceeds, at that time, then and then only one is able to catch Krishna or control Krishna. And Mother Yashoda's eagerness and enthusiasm had no bounds. And Krishna, when he's running, suddenly he looks back and he sees that his mother is catching up. And the moment he turns back, Paramastam Atyanta Tato Dhritya Gopya, he is caught from the back by Mother Yashoda. Paramastra, forcefully. Paramastra means with great force. He sees, so you can see the determination. And that is one of the meanings of Damodar Bhakti Baddha. There are certain, in this Damodar Ashtakam, it is just not the time of Damodar or Krishna to the upturned motor that is Bhakti Baddha. No, that Bhakti Baddham starts in this Dam Bandhan Leela right from the moment when Mother Yashoda, when Krishna is breastfeeding very nicely and Mother Yashoda sees the milk boiling, she puts him like an ordinary child on the floor, although he had locked his legs around Mother Yashoda's waist. Nobody in the whole entire creation can match the strength of Krishna. We explained that. We all know that. The Shara Aishwarya Purna Iti Bhagwan. The six opulences to an unlimited extent defines who Bhagwan is. And one of the opulences is the unlimited strength. Putna, who had the strength, it is described of 10,000 elephants, could not get away from the grip of Krishna when he was only 6 days old. And how could Mother Yashoda put some of Krishna who had no desire to give up that breastfeeding at that time? He was completely relishing it. He was able to be controlled. That is Damodar Bhakti Baddham, number one. Number two is right here when Paramastam Atyanta Tato Dhritya Gopya. From behind, Mother Yashoda is able to catch Krishna because her love exceeds Krishna so much. She wants to correct Krishna so badly because of her Vatsalya, that I do not want that anybody, when you grow up, call you a thief or they call you different names. She catches up with him and then she says that, hey, what? Who did all this? You broke the pot? He says, well, Maya, fearing the stick in her hand. Then the next verse, he says that Satyavrat Muni is describing the beauty and the love of Srimati Yashoda Devi and the sweet pastime of Sri Krishna. So first it is in the first verse, first line, Namami Ishwaram is the Dasya Rasam. That Dasya Ras is required even when we as sadhaks. It's very important. Before even going into Raganuga Bhakti, that Dasya Ras is required, that sadhana is required. So that explains the part of the sadhana bhakti of Dasya Rasa, where awe and reverence is required. Because without awe and reverence for Guru and Krishna, we can never advance. Every morning we sing in the Guru Puja. What are those words of Narottam Das Thakur? Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bando Movi Savadhan Mate. Bando Movi Savdhan. Savdhan means with great awe and reverence one should worship the Guru and Krishna. Bando mui saudhan mane. So like this. And then slowly, Satyavrat Muni is describing a Rupa Visesha of Sri Krishna in the first verse with his jewelry, especially his earrings. And now he's describing the sweet pastimes of Sri Krishna, which is known as the Madhur Visesha, the sweetness. And he's describing the glories of Mother Yashoda. So like this, when Krishna sees the stick and he's caught, what does he do? Rudantam muhu netram, rudantam muhu netram, yugmam rujantam, karam bhoja yugmena satanka netram, muhu sasha kampat rire rakhanka kantha, stita graiva damodar bhakti baddham. Looking at the stick in the mother Yashoda's hands, he starts crying. This is the third time he starts crying in this Dambandhan Leela. First time when he wakes up early in the morning, he doesn't find Mother Yashoda on the bed, and Mother Yashoda has already started churning to make special sweet butter for Krishna. Second time when Krishna is put on the floor, when Mother Yashoda runs to pacify milk Vaishnava. Third time is right now when he's caught from behind, he starts weeping, muhu, incessantly. Netra yugmam is two eyes. Yugamam means two, and netra means eyes, with two eyes. And how does he start crying? Nujantam karam ambojena. With his two lotus-like hands, he is rubbing his eyes. This rubbing of his eyes, our Vasik Acharya is mentioned that Krishna is trying to fib tears because of the stick that is in Mother Yashoda's hand, so that Mother Yashoda will not punish him. Mother Yashoda will, because she is so innocent and she is so loving, that he is known in the 2.5 years that Mother Yashoda is willing to do anything for Krishna. And if he does this, if he tries to pretend, Mother Yashoda will let him go. So this crying is like crocodile tears. And we mentioned that if something goes in our eyes, and it doesn't really, it bothers a little bit, the eyes don't turn red or no tears come out at that point. But when we start rubbing our eyes, then you see that tears start coming out. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. Krishna is very chatur. He's very tricky. So Karam Vaja Yugmenas, and then he sees fear. He has fear in his eyes. Satanka netram. His eyes are filled with fear. So looking at that fear, Mother Yashoda sees that Muhusasha Kampat Rire Khanka Kantha. Seeing that his crocodile tears had failed, Mother Yashoda had not fallen. Now really fear has taken over him, and that is expressed in the eyes. This is also mentioned by Mother Kunti in the first canto, chapter 8, in the Kunti Stava, that fear personified is fearsome of you, but you are fearful of Mother Yashoda's stick. Fear personified means death, right? Death personified is very fearful of Krishna. But Krishna, you are so fearful. Mother Kunti, kind of remembers when talking to him in that. So here, same thing, because Mother Kunti had heard and witnessed all these sweet pastimes in Braj. So Satanka, seeing that fear in his eyes, so Mother Yashoda throws the stick away, but does not let go of the grip. This is what our Rasik Acharyas say. So then he really starts crying. He really starts crying that it's not working. Satanka then muhu sasha kampa, and he is sobbing, and his sasha, his breathing, and he starts shivering. Maya. And then he's looking at Maya like this. And he's so nice, he's so sweet, he's so chubby that his neck area has, because he's looking down and he's looking at Mother Yashoda with fearful eyes, they form 3 beautiful lines like that on a conch shell. Kanta Stita Graiva. The 3 rekhanka, the 3 lines are on Kanta Stita, on the Kanta, on the neck of Damodar. Graiva, and then he has a beautiful necklace. Krishna actually, in Vraj, when he was little, he always went naked. The only thing he had is jewelry. He had beautiful ankle bells, he had a girdle, waist girdle, and then he would have some beautiful necklaces, pearl necklaces, golden necklaces, and like that, he was so sweet that this is the beauty that Satyavrat Muni is relishing actually. So and when he sees that neck also, so now he's also describing the beauty not only of the earrings but the beauty of the necklace that is rested on Damodar's chest on Krishna. That is because of his shaking and sobbing and gasping for air. The graver, the necklace is also shaking. Damodar Bhakti Baddham, and he's caught by Mother Yashoda's love, like that. Mother Yashoda catches him and says, I heard all this from everywhere, but I never believed. But today I saw. Huh? Who kicked that pot? What happened? How did that happen? So he said, Maiya, you are so innocent. While you were trying to go save that, pacify that milk, Bhaiya, at that time your ankle bells hit the pot, and that's how the pot broke, and that's you made a mess, not me. Oh, really? Okay. And then what about all this that is there all over your mouth and the monkeys and all that? What about that? Please explain that. He says, Maiya, you're so innocent. Every day monkeys come and they try to grab some of the butter and the yogurt from your pots, and I guard them. And I caught one of these monkeys right inside with the hand in the pot. And then he simply, dodged me, took his hand off and slapped me, and he smeared it all over my face. So Mother Yashoda, fascinated by these stories, she is internally very humorous, but externally showing that she has to correct. When you grow up, everybody's going to call you a big thief. You're going to become like that thief in Kafalak, that is in Braj, a very famous thief. Do you want to become like him? And then he tells Mother Yashoda, Maiya, this is Snigdha Kanta and Madhu Kanta mentioning in the Gopal Champu, Maiya, I have heard that, in our dynasty, in Nanda Maharaj's dynasty, there is no chore. There is no thief. But I have heard there was one thief in your dynasty. His name was Chor Ghosh. And then pressing those buttons, going into the in-laws is the worst thing that one can do, or the mother's parents or side, even during a fight, we want to avoid that. Otherwise, that's going to be World War III, Mahabharata, Ramayana, everything combined. And when Mother Yashoda is at the peak of her anger at that time, she grabs him and takes him inside into the storeroom and starts tying him with her ribbon. Jiva Goswami mentions that it is the ribbon that is in her braid, the long ribbons. And she takes one ribbon out and starts tying it to the ukhal. Our acharyas explain that why did she tie Krishna to the ukhal? She could have tied him to the tree outside in the yard. There were many trees, or to one of the pillars in the Nanda Bhavan. Nanda Bhavan has 84 khamba, more than 84 pillars that are even today. They are still there in Gokul or in Kamyavan. When we go to Braj, we can take darshan. The Brajvasis will tell us that on these pillars, the palace of Nanda Maharaj existed. But she decided to tie him. So this is the Rasik Bhav. Sometimes we don't read that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but we read it in other Rasik Vaishnava literatures, or expressed in their lectures or in their bhav to other Rasik Vaishnavas. That is how Shruti is. Shruti means, the Vedas means you hear. Upanishad, what does Upanishad mean? Upa and Nishad means to sit close to the Guru and listen. So a lot of these Upanishads, Vyasadeva spoke expounding the Vedas, and his disciples, they actually made the notations. Just like even in Christianity, Jesus Christ spoke so many wonderful sermons, but his disciples, the 12 different disciples that were there, John, Peter, the book of John, the book of Peter, etc., the book of Matthew, whatever they could remember that was imparted by the Lord Jesus, they actually penned it down. And that's how the whole Bible was combined with all the different, the New Testament especially, is the combination of all the realizations and what they had heard from Jesus Christ. Similarly, a lot of these acharyas, especially the Gaudiya acharyas and the different Rasik acharyas, even in the other sampradayas, they hear from their gurus when they are in meditation, because they are from Golok Vrindavan and they can see these things, and then they mention them. So sometimes some people ask that where is the reference? It is very difficult to give a particular reference unless and until one has heard from a proper source. Then we have to accept it. We are very fortunate. And this makes total sense. And of course, our source is Digdarshini of Sanatana Goswami and Gopal Champu. So the point being that when Sri Krishna is tied up like that, and then Mother Yashoda tries to bind him 2 fingers short, we know that, and then the philosophy behind that is that there are 2 things that are required in order. One is the determination, the sadhana. When the sadhana is there, but that doesn't mean that we can control Krishna or we can catch Krishna. No, no. Unless and until Krishna has that kripa. We explained the 2 different logics, the Markat Nyay and the Manjar Nyay. The Nyay of the monkey, the logic of the monkey, and the logic of the cat. The cat, there's a sampradaya, or some people in the spiritual life, they say that we just have to wait for Krishna's kripa or the Lord's kripa. We don't have to do anything ourselves. Just like a little kitten. A little kitty, the mother catches her in the mouth and moves her around everywhere. She doesn't have to make any endeavor. Whereas the Markat Nyay, or the monkey, the Nyay of the monkey is that the little baby monkey has to make a complete effort and has to be determined to catch the mother's belly when the mother is jumping from one tree to another tree, from one high point to another high point, without letting go. And so that is endeavor, that is sadhana. The 2. But our Vaishnava acharyas say here that you have a combination of both. Not only we need sadhana, but we also need kripa. Both combination. And Krishna gives that kripa to Mother Yashoda in the sense that because she has exhausted her ribbons, the gopis have already gathered, they are laughing, and Mother Yashoda has grown red. She is so desperate to go back into the kitchen and to clean up that mess and to start cooking for the Indra Yajna and prepare so many things that she is actually out of breath while trying to tie Krishna. She instructs all the gopis, bring ropes, as many we have, and they bring that, and still 2 fingers short. And then finally when Krishna sees that Mother Yashoda is so determined, and then internally Mother Yashoda is saying to herself, "Arey Baba Kana, Lala, why don't you get tied? I have so much work to do." That surrender mood when Mother Yashoda, and that he could not see. So Krishna agrees to get bound. Damodar Bhakti Paddam. Like this, Krishna is tied. So we now continue into this, into the 3rd verse. Idriksha Leela Bhir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhya Payantam Tadi Ishit Agneshu Bhakta Jitatvam Puna Premastam Shatavruti Vande. Beautiful verse. Satyavrat Muni, again, just to very quickly, first he goes into Dasyaras, but Dasyaras is offering obeisances to the Lord of Gokul, the one who is performing his sweet pastimes. He is eulogizing his earrings, his necklace. He is eulogizing his mother's love, that how you are controlled by your mother. He is eulogizing how he cried, that how you became so helpless, etc. So that is such a wonderful treat to Krishna's ears. When he hears the glories of his devotees, that's a great treat to Krishna's ears. And this is a subtle conversation, lest we forget. So Krishna is very pleased. Like this, further on, he is saying, Satyavratmi Idrik, in this way, in this similar fashion, Swalilavi, your personal pastimes in Gokul, Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam. You actually drown all the residents of Gokul in this kunda, or in this lake full of bliss. Nimanjantam means to completely submerge. How did he submerge? So when Krishna, it is said that from the time he started walking, Krishna used to, with the little coward boys, go to the different gopis' houses. And when he went to the gopis' houses, sometimes he would tell one of the Gopa friends, tell your mother, that one of the little calves has been gone loose, the rope. And that way she will come out. And when she comes out, then we will go inside the kitchen and the storeroom and we will have a big party. And like that, one of the Gopas would tell the mother that, Maiya, one of the little cows, the little calves has gone. I saw her going away. Her rope got loose, the tether got loosened. And so she immediately goes out, and from the side, all the Gopas and Sri Krishna, they go inside the house and they have a great ball. And they're breaking the pots, they're enjoying the market. And when the mother comes back, she sees, oh Krishna, oh what have you done? Oh Balram, oh Gwal Bals, what have you all done? And like that, she's there simply mesmerized, looking at the naughty, and that is what is called swagosha nimanjantam. Swagosh. This is an amazing word that many acharyas have used. There are a couple meanings of this. Swa means self or own, and gosha means one's family or one's village or one's town. So this is very intimate. The Satyavrat Muni is describing that this you did to your own town, to all those Brajvasis, to the Gokulvasis. That's what he's mentioning and eulogizing the joy that you gave to Golokvasis. One time, Sri Krishna, when he was stealing butter, one of the gopis hid behind the door and caught him red-handed inside the earthen pot where the butter was. And he says, Lala, now you tell me. Every time you are making some kind of, now what is your excuse? Are Maya, what can I say? You know, one I was playing with the gwalbals and one of the little calves ran into your kitchen and went into that little pot of yours. Oh, really? And she was so mesmerized. He's already speaking in a very totla way, in broken language. You know how the little children, how they speak. That mesmerized that gopi, that look, what kind of excuses he's making. And then he says, Acha Lala, then where is your calf? Show me your calf. And then Krishna, with Yogmaya's help, produces the little marble calf from the pot. And there she's so shocked looking at that. Krishna then immediately escapes from her grip and goes away. In another house, Krishna again in a similar fashion is stealing butter, and one of the gopis catches Krishna and says, Krishna, now tell me, why are you stealing butter? So he says, Maya, I call you Maya, right? And she says, yes. Her eyes started beaming. The word moment. The Brajvasis were always eager to hear the word, especially the gopis, the elderly gopis, the word Maya, mother, from Krishna's mouth. Some of the gopis would say, Krishna, come, sit in my lap, and I will give you laddus. Just call me Maya. And sometimes Krishna would watch his mother Yashoda around or somebody, and then he would just say, Maya, and they would grab the laddu and go away. So, you know, to this gopi, he says, Maya, and that Maya, she was mesmerized just by the words Maya, mother, coming out from the Maya, you are my Maya, right? So she says, yeah, and she's so happy, she's beaming, Ananda Kunde, Nimanjantam, she is absorbed, she is submerged in this bliss when Krishna says Maya. Yes, then if you are my Maya, then is this my house? Yes, Lala, this is your house. If this is your house, if this is my house, Maya, where is this kitchen? It is in this house, so is this my kitchen? She says, yes, Lala, this is your kitchen. If this is my kitchen, all these yogurt pots and all these makhan pots, the butter pots, are they mine? Yes, Lala, they are yours. Then where is the question of stealing Maya? And then immediately he would slowly get away from the grip and she would be left mesmerizing in Nimanjantam, Nimanjantam, in completely absorbed in this Ananda Kunda, in this blissful lake of the love that and the antics and the naughtiness of Sri Krishna, that he Indri, in this way, Swalila, by his own performance of these pastimes, he mesmerized. Sometimes the gopis would see, when is he coming? Today he has not come. Today he's not going to steal from my house. Actually speaking, that is the love that they had. This is very difficult to understand. And because it is not that Krishna required that he needed to steal. Actually, Krishna doesn't need anything. He's Atmaram. But because the love is there, he loves to accept that love. And that love is in the form of bhoga, in the form of food, in the form of makhan, in the form of all the different items that we offer Sri Krishna, even in our home. He's bhavgrahi Janardhan. That's what he wants. He doesn't need. Actually, when we offer something to Sri Krishna, it is to our benefit. And when we offer something to Krishna, and when we are of that high stature, of where our love surpasses Krishna's love, it is for his benefit. So even Krishna is consistently thinking and scheming today whose house we will go, where we will go, where I will go. This gopi I have not visited for 2 days. She must be very anxious. So that is why Krishna is always so eager to fulfill the desires of the gopis. This is an amazing thing. Vraje prasiddham navnita choram gopal gananam dukkula choram aneka aneka jivana paparjita choram gopa agraganya purusham namami. This is a wonderful astakam known as Chor Ashtakam. 8 verses that glorify Sri Krishna by Bilvamanga Thakur. That glorifies him as the topmost chief. Every line it is repeated. Chor agraganyam purusham namami. I offer obeisances to that supreme personality of Godhead who is Chor agraganyam. Chor means thief and agramanyam means the foremost of the chief, the topmost of the chief. Those who, that thief who steals away the different miseries of devotees, the miseries of the gopas, the miseries of the gopis, like that, those the miseries and the sins, sinful reactions of all the devotees, life after life. Aneka paparjitam choram, gopa chora agraganyam purusham namami. The one who has stolen the heart of Radharani, the topmost thief. Like that, this Ashtakam describes the stealing. Why Krishna steals? It is to give pleasure to his devotees. It is very, very much a reciprocatory thing that only Vaishnavas who have understood this esoteric pastimes of Sri Krishna will understand, and which here Satyavrat Muni has understood very well. In one case, when Sri Krishna goes to one of the gopis' houses, and this gopi was pretty much, very, what is the right word? Khadus. I don't know what is the word in English. Maybe somebody can type it out. Like she's very, of a very strict nature, or never, very jovial in one sense. So he goes to her house especially, and there she's hiding behind the door waiting that this time I'm going to catch him, and not only catch him, I'm going to parade him through the streets of Gokul and take him to Mother Yashoda. And she, because every time I complain, she never wants to believe me. Every time we gopis go to complain to Mother Yashoda, she never believes. So this time I'm going to catch him red-handed. So then, at that time, Krishna has perfectly put his hands in the pot, and just before he's about to smear it in his mouth or put it in the mouth, the butter, now you tell me, every time your Mother Yashoda doesn't believe me, but today, Kana, out with me. So she takes this little baby Krishna, 2.5-year-old Krishna, and covers him with her shawl or her upper veil and marches him all the way to Nanda Bhavan. And in the end there, through the streets of Gokul, she is loudly saying, I caught him today, I caught him today. But Yashoda doesn't believe me. And all the gopis came out of the houses as she was marching along the streets on the way to Nanda Bhavan. And then they all follow her. And now they wanted to see what kind of a huge drama is going to happen. So then, when she's saying, Yashoda, Ari Yashoda, Bahara Yashoda, come out Yashoda. Today, every day you're denying that your son is not stealing. Why he is stealing? You give 100 excuses. We've got so many cows, we've got so much butter, we are selling to Mathura, we are selling it to so many other places. Why you will steal a little bit of butter in your house? Nanda Maharaj is the Maharaj of Vrindavan. Navanirada Nindita Kanti Dharam Rasosagar Nagara Bhupavaram Shubha Vankim Acharu Sikhanda Sikim Bhaja Krishna Nidim Vraja Raja Sutam. Nanda Maharaj is known as Vraja Raj. And Suta means Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So he is a Maharaj. We are not some ordinary people, and you are complaining and you make all. But look, today I have brought your son. Right here, I've not let go of him. He's crying, he's making noise. And Mother Yashoda comes out. Ari Baba, why you are making so much noise? And she sees all the other gopis. This is what Idriksha Leela Vir Ananda Kunde means. Satyavrat Muni is visualizing this in his meditation. Then Mother Yashoda says, Ari, what's wrong with you, Gopi? My Lala is sleeping in the bedstead. Shh, you're making so much noise. And the Gopi says, what? Your Lala is sleeping? Then who is this? And she opens up that veil. And there, lo and behold, she finds her own son. So by Yogamaya, Krishna is gone and it is replaced by her own little son. She is now mesmerized. And then all the gopis are just looking and they are laughing. And in the meantime, the naughty Krishna comes out. Maya, and he rubs his eyes. Who is making all this noise? I was sleeping so nicely. He says, Lala, go back to sleep. Don't worry. And then he walks out and he sees the gopi, this particular gopi, who had actually marched him along in Gokul. And then he turns around and Mother Yashoda goes inside. You be careful now. This time it was your son, my little friend. But next time it will be your father-in-law. Next time you do this, hey, I will embarrass you so much that when you open up that veil, it will be your father-in-law that you have caught. And then everybody will become the laughing stock of Raj. So like this, wonderful, sweet pastimes of little Krishna and even Lord Balram, Balram and Kanai Balai, they performed these wonderful pastimes. Sometimes the gopis would tell Krishna Balram that, why don't you do some wrestling match, and whoever wins, I will give them some wonderful, nice laddus or sweets. And then they would hit their chests and their thighs, and they would, they were practically naked, and they were entertaining the residents of Raj. Idriksha Leela Vir Ananda Kunde. There are so many wonderful, sweet pastimes of Sri Krishna. Time is so limited. So Satyavrat Muni is reminiscing, he is meditating all this Ananda Kunde Swa Ghosham Nimanjantam, and he is actually drowning the inhabitants of Gokul in these pastimes, in these sweet pastimes. So, like this, further Satyavrat Muni says, like, now this is a conversation. So now, hearing all this, up to so far until the word Swagosha Nimanjantam, it is Satyavrat Muni who is glorifying Sri Krishna as Namami Ishwaram in the Dasya Bhav. He's glorifying Krishna's roop with his earrings, his necklace. He's glorifying Krishna's mother and Krishna's sweet pastime, Madhurya Rupa, Madhurya Vishesha, mother's Vatsalya love. And now he's not only that, further he goes by glorifying the residents of Braja and Gokul. So now Krishna's eyes are beaming, his ears are popping, just hearing the glorification by Satyavrat Muni. So then he says, then he makes this statement. Now it is Sri Krishna's turn to talk. Again, please try to remember that this is a subtle conversation. So next time we sing the Damodar Ashtakam, we can perhaps meditate in the same mood as the Vaishnava Acharyas have presented. So here Krishna says, Tadi Ishit Agneshu Bhaktar Jitatvam Puna Premastam Shatavruti Vande. Here he says that Tadi Ishit Agneshu, one who knows that I am the supreme personality of Godhead, just like those persons in Vaikuntha or those devotees in Vaikuntha, they are Tada Ishit Agneshu. Tada means, Ishit means the Supreme Lord, and Agneshu means the knowledge. The knowledge that I am the Supreme Lord. Look at Satyavrat Muni. He is making an example of Satyavrat Muni. He's saying, he's telling his associates, those who have knowledge of his Aishwarya Bhav in Vaikuntha, Bhakta Jitatvam. I am controlled by the pure devotional bhakti of the Vrajvasis, like my mother Yashoda. Jitatvam means I'm conquered. I'm conquered by such devotion. Please know that. And Satyavrat Muni, Puna, again and again, I offer my obeisances. Shata Avruti Vande. Hundreds, Shata means hundred. Hundreds and hundreds of times I offer my obeisances to to such residents of Gokul, to such love of Mother Yashoda, to the Ishvara who is in Gokul, who is in splenderously situated in Gokul, performing sweet pastimes in Gokul, as drowning the inhabitants of Gokul. So now Krishna is pleased. Krishna is pleased, and Krishna tells Satyavrat Muni, okay, great, I'm so happy with you. You know, you have everything that I love so much. You have eulogized it, you have praised it, and I'm so pleased with you. Ask me for a benediction. Ask me for a benediction. So in the fourth verse, Satyavrat Muni immediately cautions Sri Krishna. And as if he becomes a little more firm in his voice, he says, Varam Deva. Like, when sometimes when we are either upset or we have to stress a particular point, we say, hey Baba, look, either we do this or we have some gestures. Hey, hey. So he says, Varam Deva. Varam Deva, moksham na moksham avdimva, na cha anye vrune aham, vara ishad apiha. Beautiful verse. And that is why the Gaudiya Vaishnavas like this, because of the bhav. The bhav here is amazing. He is saying that Varam Deva moksham na moksham avdimva, na cha anye vrune aham, vara ishad apiha, idam te vapurnatham gopala balam sadame manasi avirashtam kim anye. So let us examine the different words that Satyavrat Muni, now he is talking, he is responding to Krishna's offer. When Krishna says, I want to give you a vardhan, I want to give you benedictions. So, if it was somebody else instead of Satyavrat Muni or the pure Gaudiya Vaishnavas, then we will ask what we sing in that, what is that arti? Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Ghar Ghoda Ave, Bangla Ave, Gadi Ave, and we make a long list of material things. Like that. And these are the songs and the artis those people sing in the Hindu temples. This is simply motivated by material desire. And that is rejected by the pure Vaishnavas, especially in the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It is completely rejected. We have to see in Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a very beautiful verse that some of my Prabhus here or Matajis may know. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaye ahitukiya pratiyata jena atma suprasidhati. The topmost dharma for mankind is loving transcendental service to Sri Krishna. And what it has to be, what kind of loving service? Not an exchange of material things. It has to be ahaituki. Hetu means some material motive. Ahaituki means opposite. And apratiyata, it has to be uninterrupted. Some people we see come to the temple quite often because either they are arti, artharthi, jnani or jigyasu. Either they are in distress, arti, artharthi, they want money, jnani, they want knowledge, jigyasu, they are inquisitive. So these are ordinary categories of devotion. But this is where the Gaudiya Vaishnavas Lord Satyavrat Muni, Varam Deva, he says, Moksham Nama, before you even think of them, he addresses Sri Krishna as Varam Deva. So the Acharyas comment, why does he use such a word? And they say that there are two basically categories one can recite Krishna's name. One is known as Gauniya Nama and one is known as Pramukha Nama. So what is Gauniya Nama examples? The example is Bhagavan, Ishvara, Paramatma, Parmeshwara, Prabhu. So those are known as Gauniya Nama. But what are Mukhya Nama? Mukhya Nama is when we call him Damodar. Because in his name, the wonderful love of Mother Yashoda, immediately that when we utter the word Damodar, he is reminded of this loving exchange between him and his mother. When we utter the word Radha Raman, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Ras Bihari. When we utter all those beautiful names, immediately the name also associates his most intimate associates are present. Haribol. Hare Krishna. They are present in those Pramukh Naams. And Krishna gets attracted to the Pramukh Naam very, very easily. If we call him Yashodanandan, and if we call him Krishna, then when you call Yashodanandan, the attraction for the name Yashodanandan will draw his attention faster. When we call him Nandanandan, when we call him Gopijana Vallabha, etc., then he is attracted very, very much when whoever is the reciter of those Sankirtan names. So here, but he is cautioning him because Krishna has changed his mood. He's made him somber. Krishna has made him a little upset. Satyavrat Muni expresses some kind of a sadness here. He's a little bit morose because Krishna is offering him, Varam Deva. He calls him Varam Deva. That is a Gonyana. Varam means benediction and Deva means the Lord of benediction. So he addresses Krishna as the Lord of benediction. Just like somebody addresses Krishna as Bhagavan, the one who possesses all different opulences. Varam Deva Moksham. If you are thinking that I want moksha, if I want liberation, you don't want liberation, Krishna says. There are millions and millions of devotees in this material world lined up for mukti. Pantastu koti satvatsara sampragamyo vayo rathapi manaso munipungavana so api asti yat prapadasimni govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Lord Brahma describes in the 5th chapter of the Brahma Samhita that there are yogis who sit for millions and millions of years by drilling the respiration, sitting in the yogic postures. To do what? So that they can actually get darshan of Sri Krishna. But unfortunately, they don't even get the darshan of Sri Krishna. Perhaps the most that they even get is the light that emanates from the nail of Sri Krishna's toe. Or basically, what they're saying is that they get Brahma Jyoti, because that is the effulgence of the Vaikuntha Lokas and the effulgence of the devotees in Vaikuntha and the effulgence of the avatars of Sri Krishna and the effulgence of Lord Krishna and his associates. Which is what the Ishopanishad also says in the end. The devotee says that please remove this curtain of Brahma Jyoti so that I can actually see you face to face, the personalism. And that's what the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are all about. They are saying this, Prabhupada, he always, even Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, Rupanuga Viruddha Pasiddhanta Dvanta Harine, he would cut into pieces all the different philosophies that contradicted Rupa Goswami or the pure line of devotion. Absolute ascension, thou has proved. Impersonal calamity, thou has moved. Srila Prabhupada writes in a poem on one of the Vyas Pujas of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati that absolute ascension, the supreme personality of God is Sri Krishna, is sentient. He is a person like you and me. Of course, he is transcendental in every aspect, but he is a person. He is not some light or some energy as described by the yogis and all these Mayavadis, that they are God, Aham Brahmasmi, and their interpretations. There's so much great philosophy here of Gaudiya Vaishnavism embedded in this particular 4th verse. Absolute is sentient. Sentient means full consciousness, is a real person. Thou has proved. You have proved that my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Impersonal calamity, thou has removed. This is a big calamity, impersonalism. It is so easy when people tell us that philosophy, oh, you don't know Baba, you are God. All you have to do is practice some meditation, yoga, become a member of our yoga club and take this personality as a guru and, give him some dakshina and then he will give you that enlightenment of Brahma. And then at the time when you leave your body, you will merge into the Brahma Jyoti. This is the promises. You will become He. So aham, I am He. These are the philosophies that have been floating around since time immemorial. But the Vaishnavas, they have a completely different outlook. And then they are actually cheated. These Mayavadis are cheated out of their own bliss, that ananda. They're cheated because where there is no service or association of the Supreme Lord or His avatars in person, then who are you going to serve? You cannot serve something that you cannot see. You cannot serve something that is non-existential when something is like a light or a Brahman. You cannot serve. So therefore, they are cheated and they are cheating others. But that is why, and he says that, Krishna is actually testing this devotee. Varam Deva Moksham na Moksham Deva. He says, you called me Varam Deva. A few seconds ago, you are so sweetly eulogizing me and my mother and my jewelry and my Gokul and the inhabitants of Gokul, and now you have become formal. So he says, yes, because before you offer me moksha, as far as Vaishnavas are concerned, moksha is narkiya. It is hellish. A lot of people don't understand this, even after coming and associating with this glorious movement of Srila Prabhupada. So many people are still of that idea that, we should get liberation. Prabhupada said liberation means what? Liberation from material attachment. No matter where one is, Swargeshu, Nargeshu, Apavargeshu. For a Vaishnava, Samatulya Darshana. Whether one is in the heavenly planets or in the hellish planets or in the earthly planets or Apavargeshu, in the higher planetary systems, Samatulya Darshana. The Vaishnava looks upon them equally as long as the Vaishnava can serve Sri Krishna wherever he is situated. Jatha Vaishnava Gane Sei Sthan Vrindavana. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, wherever there are Vaishnavas, that place it becomes Sri Vrindavan Dham. In another bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, in Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu, the well-known Ekadashi bhajan, he says, Je dine grihe bhajan dekhi, grihe te golok bhai. Wherever there is sincere bhajan in a house, that house itself becomes Golok Vrindavan. So there is Golok Vrindavan in terms of geography, but Golok Vrindavan is also a concept. It is a consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada has always used these two words, Krishna consciousness. We have to meditate. Some of the simplest words of Srila Prabhupada have given us the highest and the topmost secrets. So here, as far as moksha is concerned, Vaishnavas never asked for that. In none of our Vaishnava acharyas, in any of their writings or bhajans, they have asked that please give me Golok Vrindavan. This is a very, very important point, or take me back home, back to Godhead. Most of us are motivated when they say we want to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada was very kind, and in the initial stages, when he came to the West, he had to train all these Westerners, right from how to put on the tilak and how to put on the dhoti, and even how to maintain proper hygiene standards, and even how to cook sattvic bhoga for the Lord Krishna, right from rice, dal, and chapatis, gulab jamuns, and so many different things. Srila Prabhupada taught personally. He trained them and he motivated them, just like sometimes our motivation is when we tell our children, if you do your homework nicely today, I'll give you a nice big bowl of ice cream, or I will give you a nice candy bar. So that is the motivation. So this going back to Godhead is a motivation. But if we examine Satyavrat Muni's prayer here, that is why Sanatana Goswami and all of them, our acharyas, really applaud it. Because we don't care to go home back to Godhead. Wherever we are ready to serve Sri Krishna. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that don't try to see Krishna, perform your service in such a way that when Krishna is pleased, he will see you. This is our Gaudiya Vaishnava principle. Our Gaudiya Vaishnava principle is Anya Vilasata Shunya Jnana Karma Navritam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Tad Bhakti Uttam. Uttam Bhakti, or topmost bhakti, is that we have, when we are even bereft without an iota of jnana, when we don't hanker behind knowledge, jnana, karma is out of question. Because a lot of shastras teach us about karma kand. Do this upasana, that upasana, you will make money, you will do, you will have this. No, we are not interested in that. As a matter of fact, Nam Aprad number 8, that is explained in the Shastras, to equate the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, who is actually non-different from Radha Krishna and the associates, intimate associates of Radha Krishna, with Karma Kandi mantras is a big offense. Nam Aparad number 8. So we have to understand that going back to Godhead is the Prabhupada. Yes, most of us, naturally, if we have taken to Krishna consciousness, we will go back to Godhead. But if we are on a higher plane, and if our consciousness is higher, then we will never desire that. We will think, even a Vaikuntha devotee like Prahlad, when Nrsimhadev Bhagwan appeared in front of him, he was so pleased, ask me a benediction. And he says, nothing. I don't want anything. I saw my father, Hiranyakashipu, his name is Hiranya, gold. Hiranya means wealth. Kashipu means comforts. All kinds of comforts he had. Can you imagine all the comforts that Hiranyakashipu, he had actually conquered all the 3 worlds. The hellish planets, the middle planetary system, earthly planet, and the heavenly planets. So he had all the opulences or the Vaibhav. And he says, you just simply split him apart like a little fly. Tavakara kamalar vare nakam adbhut sringam dalita hiranyakashipu tanu bringam. Bringam is like a small fruit fly. When you touch on a fruit fly, it immediately it's killed just by the touch. So, when the time came, on the threshold, you tore him apart like a little fly. Everything he had in this material world. I don't desire that, Nrsimhadev Bhagwan. I don't. He says, no. But you know what? I'm pleased with your bhakti. Ask me something. So being a kind-hearted Vaishnava, Prahlad Maharaj says, then please, the best of the demons, he addresses them as the best of the demons, his father. Prabhupada uses that language in his purports or in his translation. Please deliver him. He was such a sinful personality. Oh, that you don't have to worry. Automatically, generations in the past and the future, because you are a devotee, they will be delivered. Ask me something. There's nothing I want to ask. Please, Nrsimhadev Bhagwan. So Nrsimhadev Bhagwan, you will please me if you ask me something. So then he says, for your pleasure, I will accept the benediction. The benediction that I want is, I want to serve my Guru Maharaj, Naradji. There are millions and millions of souls in this material world who are suffering for the lack of Krishna consciousness. I want to assist my Guru Maharaj. And that is a very high bhav. Leaving Golok Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the 6 Goswamis and all these Gaudiya Acharyas, leaving the company of their beloved Radha as their Swapakshiya gopis, Bhav, Manjari Bhav, they came here to this material world. Why? Because it was the desire of Radha and Krishna, persons or personalities or jivas who are baddha with Maya, who are completely captured by Maya. They should be freed from Maya and they should be given a taste of pure bhakti. That is even Krishna himself leaves Golok Vrindavan and comes as Mahaprabhu. So this is Namo Mahavadanyaya. That is Bhuri Grinanti Je Bhurida Jana. Gopi Geet, 9th verse, last line. That is what our actual sadhana and our actual desire should be. If Krishna Radharani wants, we will go back home to Godhead based on that desire, not that I have that desire. Because there is a tinge of enjoyment in a subtle way. There's nothing wrong with that. Devotees, please don't get me wrong. But I'm giving you the highest bhav of Gaudiya Rasa. Because nowhere in the Gaudiya Rasa, where I have read the different books and the different bhajans, they have said that I would like to, go back to God. This is the bhav. This is a very mature bhav. Obviously, we have not reached that, so we don't know. But if we at least know, then we can probably think about that bhav. How I can assist Srila Prabhupada and his mission. No matter how many times I have to come back, even I'm purified by their mercy. As long as Srila Prabhupada wants me to stay here, Radha Krishna wants me to stay here, wherever they want, I'm willing to go. So moksha is not very important. That is why I was kind of highlighting this point. Varam deva moksham, na moksham avdimva. So even the different types of mokshas that are described is Sayujya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, Salokya Mukti, Sarshti, and Sarupya Mukti. There are 5 types of muktis that are described in the Shastras. And out of that, the worst of those muktis is the Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti is the Mayavadis and the Brahmavadis and the demons that are killed by Krishna or Krishna's avatar. They enter into the Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is a real place. It is beyond the Viraja river or the Karanadaksha Jal where Mahavishnu resides. And it is a very thick layer between Vaikuntha and the Karanadaksha Jal. And it is like a moat, a big fort, a very strong fort has a very good moat. So that, if unwanted persons or entities cannot enter that fort. So similarly, this Brahma Jyoti acts as a fort. The first fortress is the Karandaksha Jal itself, where it purifies the living entity from the three modes of material nature, of Tamagun, Rajagun and Satogun. And those who cross that, they enter the Brahma Jyoti. That's the pre-qualification. But that's their limitation. Beyond that, they cannot go into, per se, on the Vaikuntha planets, or Mathura, Dwarka, or Ayodhya, or Golok Vrindavan. They just cannot enter because they are averse to Sri Krishna's bhakti, because they are averse to the personalism aspect. They are nirguna. They think that there is no form of the Lord. It is because of Maya we see the different forms of the Lord, etc. We see different forms. I'm seeing this computer, I'm seeing this telephone, I'm seeing my glasses, I'm seeing this shirt, I'm seeing this room, I'm seeing this TV. It is because I am covered with Maya, I'm seeing this. All these things don't exist. That is why they are called Mayavads. So their reward is where the demons are killed and they get Brahma Jyoti, or they get the Sayujya Mukti. And then there are devotees who are further purified, they enter into Vaikuntha. But Satyavrat Muni says very clearly, Moksham Avdhimva. Avdhim means Vaikuntha. Before you offer me that, so Krishna is like, okay, you know what, I understand, you are a high caliber devotee. You don't want any mukti in the Brahma Jyoti, and although all these yogis are sitting in meditation for thousands and millions of years, I understand you're better than them. Then let me offer you mukti as Sarupya Salokya. Sarupya means similar form like the Lord. Sarupya means similar form like the Lord. Salokya, mukti means the same planet as the Lord. And then let me offer you Sarshti, the same opulence that I have as Lord Narayana in Vaikuntha. Sarshti. So let me offer you these other four muktis. So before you even offer me that, he says, Nacha Anyam Vrine Aham. Before you offer, Vrine means I pray to you. He folds his hands. And then he calls him again Vara Isha. This is another Gaunyanam. Gaunyanam means like Parmeshwar, Paramatma, Bhagwan, etc. So first he calls him Varam Deva, and now he calls him Vara Isha. It means exactly the same thing. Varam Deva means the Lord of benedictions. The one who can give benediction is called Varam Deva. And Vara Ishad means the controller of the Supreme Lord, who is capable of giving Vardhan or benedictions. So Vara Ishad. So he calls him twice with this Gaunyanam, saying that I'm not even interested in that Vaikuntha Mukti. So Krishna is aghast. Wow. And Nacho Anye. Now this particular word Anye has got a very deep meaning. Anya means any other thing before you offer me. Let me caution you, I pray to you, I do not want that. That Anya, our Gaudiya Acharyas have explained, and that is why this Ashtakam is becoming dearer and dearer to the Gaudiya Acharyas. Because this Anya is talking about the bhakti of Prahlad and the bhakti of Dhruv Maharaj and the bhakti that also consists of the Nauda Bhakti. I was shocked when I first heard that or I read that not even this Nauda Bhakti, there's Nauda Bhakti in the sense, Nauda Bhakti in Sadhana Bhakti. Of course, even when we are in Ragana Bhakti, Shravan and Kirtanam is always done. It is always there, but it is of a different caliber. But here, Anya means the kind of bhakti that the Vaikuntha, aspirants of Vaikuntha, or those devotees who are aspiring after Vaikuntha, they perform in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, whether Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam, etc., the 9 different processes. And that is the reason why Srimad Bhagavatam deals with all these 9 cantos in the beginning, so that our tattva, philosophy and sadhana becomes pakka before we enter the 10th canto. And the 10th canto is the Samam Bonam. Srila Prabhupada gives that the title of the 10th canto, the Samam Bonam. So, therefore, here it is understood by Krishna understands that, Acha Baba, you don't want liberation, you don't want any kind of liberation out of the five muktis, not even Vaikuntha, not even the bhakti of Prahlad and Dhruv Maharaj, etc. Then what do you want, Baba? Tell me. I'm really pleased with you. I want to give you something, because you made me so happy with these prayers. You have eulogized me so well, my mother, the Gokul Vasis, my jewelry, etc., etc., etc. You also eulogized my own home Gokul, Swagosham. So he says that if you want to give me something, then here he says that idam te vapurnatham gopala balam sadame manasi avirashtam kim anye. What a beautiful prayer. So if you do want to give me something, then please, I just saw the wonderful pastime between you and your mother and all those different sweet pastimes in Gokul, in the Vatsalya Rasa, between you and the other exchanges of the gopis when you went to steal the butter. Sadame, always. Manasi. Manasi means within the core of the heart. Manasi means, mana, Prabhupada explains, or the mind lies within the core of the heart. And buddhi or intelligence lies up here. So mana, Sri Chaitanya mano abhistam sthapitam jena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam. When will this great personality Rupa Goswami give me shelter at his lotus feet? Who has established the pure principles of bhakti that were there within the mana abhistam, with a desire within the core of the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So within my heart, he is saying, Manasi, in my heart, avirastam, please manifest all these wonderful sweet pastimes, especially this Vatsalya Ras between you and your mother and the gopis. Kim anye, I do not need anything else. No, and none of the five liberations, not interested in Prahlad, Dhruv Maharaj type of bhakti. This is what I want. Can you give it to me? So, like this, Satyavrat Muni, because Krishna says, I want to give you, and this is what he's asking. So Krishna says, Tathastu, so be it. And so now we enter into the fifth verse of this Ashtakam. Further, Satyavrat Muni now, as Krishna being so pleased with him, opens up into his heart and further gives him more sfurtis. It is called sfurti. Sfurti means the realizations or those transcendental visions. Many of our great acharyas, even when they were sitting here and they were chanting the holy names, for example, sitting in Vrindavan, let's say in Ter Kadam, Rupa Goswami was sitting and meditating and chanting the holy names. So many spurtis came to him. Sanatana Goswami, when he was sitting by Madan Mohan temple or near Barsana by the Pavan Sarovar, there is a bhajan kutir of Sanatana Goswami. And our acharyas have many bhajan kutis in different places of Vrindavan, in Vraj. And they used to sit there and they used to get spurtis. And they used to sometimes laugh and cry when they were chanting the holy names, because they could actually see the pastimes of Sri Krishna, see the pastimes, especially the Madhurya Rasa. So, like this, Krishna gives a very special spurti to Satyavrat Muni. And what does Satyavrat Muni see? So, he's describing that in the fifth verse. Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilay vrutam kunthalai snigdha raktaischa gopya muhuschumbitam bimba Rakta adharam me manasi avirashtam alam lakshalabhe. Arthat, meaning, idam, this supremely charming, the charm, the beauty that includes your mischief and everything, the beauty, O Damodar, O Krishna, in such a way, idam, mukham bhojam. Now Satyavrat Muni is personally getting the innermost vision of the lotus face of Krishna. Like, for example, sometimes when we are far and when we are, or let's say, I'll give you a very simple example. When we are entering the temple and we take our shoes out and we are far away from the Garbhagriha or where the deities are, We just get a general darshan of the deities, but we cannot see the details of what kind of nose ring Krishna has worn, or what kind of necklace he has worn, or what kind of bracelets he has worn, or whether he is smiling or not. We cannot see that. Only when we come to a very close proximity to the altar, we can see all those details. So now Sri Krishna has given him the Sfurti, where he is showing his own personal beauty. Mukham Ambojam. Mukha means the face, and Amboj means Krishna's lotus-like face. It's amazing. Krishna is so beautiful that here it is described that his avyakta nila, his color is avyakta. Vyakta means that is manifest in the material world, and avyakta means that is something transcendental. It cannot be found in the material world. So Krishna's color of Shyam Sundar is or the dark bluish cloudish color that Krishna has is called avyakta nila. Nil means bluish, and avyakta means very transcendental in nature. That kind of color is never to be seen in anywhere else in this material world. Navanirada nindita kanti dharam rasosagara nagara bhupavaram. His beauty has been expressed as Navanirada nindita kanti dharam. When a freshly formed rain cloud is formed, it's very beautiful. The color of Krishna is something similar to that. And it puts to shame the freshly, newly formed cloud. That is the beauty of Sri Krishna, avyakta nila. Idam te mukham bojam, avyakta nila, vrutam. And this beautiful face is vrutam, encircled. Encircled with what? With kuntalai snigdha. Kuntalai snigdha means by curls and locks of beautiful hair that look like bumblebees. So this is another spurti. Bumblebees, they actually they surround the most of the beautiful lotuses are surrounded by many bumblebees, and it appears as if Krishna's curly soft hair is like many bumblebees that are surrounding the lotus face of Krishna, or this beautiful lotus which is the face of Sri Krishna. And these bumblebees, I don't know if anybody's noticed that or not, but we have seen it, and I'm sure most of you all. If you see even certain flies, especially we see them in India, in juice, where they serve juices, or where they serve, especially when we go to Vrindavan or many places where they serve the sugarcane, freshly pressed sugarcane juice. There are certain species of flies or bumblebees that come with the fragrance or the sweetness of that sugarcane juice. Or sometimes even when you wear a garland, they come behind you. Or if you're taking some prasad even covered, these bumblebees will come behind you, or these flies. And they have a certain tinge in the back. They are either sometimes very reddish or bluish. Reddish or bluish. I'm sure some of you all have made that observation. So these bumblebees have got a reddish hue in the back. Therefore, Krishna's soft hair is described as it has a slight lalima. Lalima means redness, raktai. Rakta means the color of the reddening or the reddish color. And what else is he seeing? Not only is he admiring the beauty of Krishna's face, now he has gone into a very deep meditation. The spurti is getting deepened and deepened. More and more spurti Krishna has granted him his desire right now. So then he sees that cha gopya muhu chumbitam. Cha and gopya. Here gopya means Yashoda Mai, but also now comes even more rasa as we dive deeper into the waters in this nectarian ocean. Gopya also means the gopis of Raj. So here suddenly there is a spurti that he gets that I also want to kiss Krishna. That kissing feature, or that deep desire to kiss Krishna and even become more intimate with him, that deep desire, that spurti he gets within his heart, in his mana. And like that, he sees that bimba adharam me manasi. I see that Mother Yashoda and these gopis are kissing Krishna's lips. And the description of the lips is given as ripened fruit, bimba fruit. Bimba fruit is extremely red in color. So Krishna's lips are compared to the redness of the bimba fruit. And he thinks, oh wow, amazing. And manasi avirastam alam laksha labhe. Now he has decided that anything else in this entire creation, may this manifest to me eternally. Avirastam. Alam, I have no use. Alam means no use, bekar. Laksha labhe. Laksha means millions or thousands. Labhe, any other attainments or any other labh, right? Most of the times when we go to some shops in India, Shubh, Labh, they write that and there is a swastik. So that labh is money and other things. But here Satyavrat Muni has made it clear that it is pure devotional service that I seek, and I now would like to enter into even more sweeter pastimes with Sri Krishna by kissing him, just like Mother Yashoda and the Kishore Gopis of Vraj Mandal. The Kishore Gopis means the young, youthful Gopis. It is not just Mother Yashoda is kissing. Of course, this is very high and rasik in nature, but because our acharyas are rasik in nature, I am mentioning this due to the aspiration that now Satyavrat Muni wants to further graduate from Vatsalya Ras into Madhurya Ras of the Gopis, which is a great venture. It is not something ordinary. Krishna granted him that vision of the of the Vatsalya Ras in a very wonderful way, of the parental love and the exchanges between not only Mother Yashoda but the elderly gopis of Vrajdam, but due to the stealing and the interactions and all that. But now he's aspiring, he's becoming more greedy. Now this is an amazing thing. Greed is required in order to obtain higher and higher nuances and higher advancement in bhakti. Rupa Goswami in the Padyavali and Bhaktivinoda Thakur have also repeated, and Srila Prabhupada also, that ekam mulyam lolyam api. What is the price of pure bhakti? Everything has a price, right? We need a shirt, we go to the market, we buy it, we pay a few rupees, we get it. We need the dhoti, we need, let's say we need to fly to India or we need to fly abroad, we can purchase a ticket. Everything has a mulya, a value. You pay it and you get it. So what is the mulya or the payment for pure bhakti? So that our acharyas say it is lolyam. Lolyam means transcendental greed. Even in the Mangalarti, the 4th verse, 5th verse, Sri Radhika Madhavyurapara Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Namna Pratishanaswa Dana Lolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charnaravinda. My Acharya, my Gaudiya Acharya, what is his internal bhajan? His internal bhajan is Sri Radhika Madhavya Apar Leela. He's always meditating on the unlimited pastimes or the transcendental, sweet Madhurya Ras pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And he's describing guna, their transcendental qualities, their activities, nam, and through the holy names. And pratishana, every moment, pratishana aswadana. Aswadana means to relish. And how is that relishing? With great transcendental greed. Lolupasya. Vande Guru Sri Charnarvindam. I offer my obeisances unto such wonderful Vaishnava Acharyas, to all those such gurus. So that lolyam or that transcendental greed has now seeped further into Satyavrat Muni. And when that happens, at that time, that is described in the 6th verse. In the 6th verse, it is described that when he is aspiring after the highest, which is Madhurya Ras in the Gopi Bhav, Sri Krishna must test him. Not everybody is capable. Please try to understand this very important point. Although we may be members of ISKCON, but not everybody may end up in their Madhurya Ras Bhav unless and until we practice our sadhana perfectly and we receive the extra grace and we graduate far enough to receive the Raganuga Bhakti from the Goswamis and from Srila Prabhupada. We may have children at home, but they all have different capabilities. One child, you may want that when they are admitted to a particular school, right even in the kindergarten, he's so sharp that he is given admission. Even the interviewers are very, very impressed. And they say, yes, we will admit your child. And then when it comes for the time for the siblings, the brother or the sister, and when they are talking to them and interviewing them, they say, we are sorry, but we cannot give admission to the brother or sister of your first child. So the mother and father will argue, why? You gave admission to my first, but that was the caliber of that student. And that is why they got the admission. So similarly, sadhana bhakti is must, but after sadhana bhakti, that aspiration of lolium should be there, like Satyavrat Muni has expressed here. If we do not express within our hearts, and we can only desire if we hear, if we have some experience of hearing or some aspiration that is built, then we can reach our target. Just like many, many years ago, the first generation persons who came from India to the West, we had heard about America, we had heard about the United States, we had heard about Canada. Just by hearing, we were attracted. I'm talking about giving a material example. And then or either it was for education, and then later on to settle down, to get a good job or a business. So because the lifestyle, material lifestyle is much better, the amount of time that one puts in here and the amount of time one puts in India, multifold rewards are given materially speaking. So all these things we hear, and then we have that aspiration. And then when that aspiration and that strong desire is there, we take action and eventually we achieve our goal. So that sambandha, abhidya and prayojan, these things happen if we have that. Otherwise, if we are simply, and I'm not saying this again, I don't want anybody to misunderstand me. Reading Bhagavad Gita is great, but if for the last 30 years or 40 years, if you're just reading Bhagavad Gita, and if you are hearing from the same persons, and their explanations are the same, and everything is the same, then it is like, honestly, a boat that has been thrown with an anchor. You can only row as far as the rope can take you. Otherwise, you are stuck. So that lolium has to be there. This is the words of Srila Prabhupada, words of Vishwanath Chaudhary Thakur, words of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, words of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the words of Baldev Vidya Bhushan Ji, the words of all our acharyas, Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami in Padyavali. It is lolium that will help us in advancing our spiritual aspiration or the parikasta. And these change over a period of time. These change. Just like when you ask, I have a good friend in Chicago, a couple years ago, not too long ago, he was admitted to the medical school. So very nice kid, and I was talking to him while we were having lunch. So what's your aspiration after you get your medical degree? So he said that I would like to become a specialist in ER. I said, wow, that's pretty tough and challenging. ER is a lot of trauma, etc. And just a couple of days ago, I was talking to his father, my good friend, and I said that he was telling me his graduation is coming up very soon. I said, wow, he's going to become a resident. Congratulations. So is he still going to pursue ER? He says, no, Prabhuji. Actually, by the mercy of Kishore Kishori, he has changed his mind. Now he wants to take, I forgot what is the word he used, something like IR, something to do with radiology, intrusive radiology. And one of my other good friends who is a doctor convinced him that you'll be working 15 hours standing. He said, yes, right now he's in surgery already, and his day is like almost 16, 17 hours. And even when he's on the phone with us, he can hardly talk to us. He falls asleep. Even when we just want to say, Hare Krishna, beta, something like that. He's so he says, Papa, I don't think I want ER anymore. And he was convinced. So that aspiration changed into something more challenging and more better and more competitive. And this IR is very intrusive radiology is very competitive. From what he says, it pays also double. An ordinary doctor in a hospital will get about 300,000. He will get 600,000, and he can work even from home. Only when there is some elective and selective surgeries, he has to present himself in the hospital at that time. So it's a very comfortable job if he gets it, but there's a lot of competition. Similarly, my dear devotees, this practical example that just came to light a couple days ago, I'm presenting this to all of us, including myself. Our aspirations should always aim higher. And our aim, if we study the lifestyle, the bhajans, and the writings of our acharyas and Goswamis and Srila Prabhupada's books very carefully, then we will understand that our aspiration is going to culminate that into Madhurya Rasa. Otherwise, simply by reading Bhagavad Gita, we will know the biodata of Krishna, Vasudev Krishna, not Nanda Nandan. There's no, and again, this is a topic for another time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here now. It's 8:30. And last time there was a discussion with the devotees that if I do not finish the Damodar Ashtakam on this Sunday, then what do you all say? So they said, no. Don't continue the Bhagavatam, because the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavatam, Bhagavad group does Srimad Bhagavatam. Only for the month of Kartik, we decided we will do Damodar Leela, and pertaining to the Vrat of Damodar, Gopi Git singing, Damodar Ashtakam, and then in between there were important days like Govardhan Puja and also the launch of ISKCON Niagara. So some of the time was dovetailed towards those kathas or towards those topics. And that is one of the reasons why I'm not able to do justice fully to the Damodar Ashtakam. So verses number 6, 7, 8, I'm hoping that I can finish it next Sunday or the following Sunday. So maybe 2 more weeks if we want to do it thoroughly and nicely. Of course, thoroughly is a frame of reference, but to the best of my ability. I feel that I will need at least maybe 2 Sundays to completely bring out that Gaudiya Rasa that is there in this Damodar Ashtakam and present it to the interested devotees. So I thank you all very much for coming to today's program. We at Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad Group and ISKCON Niagara Falls, we are grateful that you are here, and hopefully you all have taken something home today. And next year, maybe when we sing the Damodar Ashtakam in the whole month of Kartik, we will have a different facet or a different dimension of bhakti when we are singing this Damodar Ashtakam. So thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Now I will ask Anup Prabhu if he has any quick announcements, and then we will continue with the next part of the program, which would be the Gopi Gita and the Damodar Ashtakam singing. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Satyavrat Muni, all glories to the Damodar Leela. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So somebody had just